Uncle Jimmy's here to help us talk about our approval rating.
You know.
All right, quickly, who's your big dummy of the day? Marcella said some.
You.
Said me.
Once again, 17 times this year I've counted. You done had to tell us at one point or another about you losing your virginity. About how terrified you was.
That was a moment. What about her?
All right, look.
Bro, thank you.
What about her?
That vision of coming out the shower with the half towel around you.
Obviously, Andrew Luck's been the biggest topic of conversation this week.
A quilt.
After just 7 injury-plagued years, he's now done without ever winning the Super Bowl. All right, Marcellus, Uncle Jimmy, was Andrew Luck's career a failure, NFL career a failure?
$100 million failure? Okay. #1 overall pick? Okay. If you just live and marry yourself to his expectations in a pass-fail system of grading, yeah, you could say he's a failure, but I won't. I'll say that the guy achieved what he desired. It was just different than what we expected, but he still lands in a good place. He's a memorable figure in NFL history, even though he wasn't the great as advertised.
Uncle Jimmy?
Andrew Luck was drafted first in 2012.
What?
One of 5 notable quarterbacks, if I'm not mistaken. The second quarterback taken in the first round was RG3. Then you had Nick Foles taken in the 3rd round. You had Russell Wilson taken in the 3rd round. And you also had Kirk Cousins that was taken in the 4th round. So just based off that, Nick Foles was the first man in and the first man out.
Nick Foles, you mean Andrew Luck?
Andrew Luck. First man in, first man out. That's a bust. Straight up.
A bust?
A decent point. How would you rank those quarterbacks?
Okay, let's look at it. Let's look at it like this. Hold on. Russell Wilson got a Super Bowl. Nick Foles got a Super Bowl.
Well, that's the only grade, huh?
Okay,
The only grade.
Kirk Cousins pimped the hell out of the Redskins, got all that money.
No, he got it out.
And so that puts Andrew Luck just a little bit above RG3, just simply because he can slide a little bit. Hey, RG3 was the Rookie of the Year. He was on the cover of Madden, and it was noted that he had a coach that tried to kill him in his rookie year.
That's true.
So since y'all agree with me on all of this,
Interesting.
you using me on the Whitlaw, so let's go ahead and get to the point of discussion. My money. Okay, in the rap world, what you're doing is called sampling. In your world of journalistics, it's called plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
What?
Plagiarism. It's called taking credit for something that ain't yours.
Principality, Smokey. What you
See, I ain't Andrew Luck. I'm Russell Wilson. I know you got me in the 4th round, but damn it, don't play cheap. We playing in the championship game.
3rd round, right?
Hey, you might have your hands on the oldest Rookie of the Year and MVP in history.
You dumb.
Bottom line right now, Uncle Jimmy got a lot of mouths to feed. I just took on these blue M&Ms, and we got to step these negotiations up.
Look at Zeke in the back.
Hey, I got Lizzo now in my DM. Causing trouble.
Truth hurts. The truth hurts.
Hey, talking about you better check the DNA. I'm 100% that chick. But I can't be no side chick. We got to talk about that. Back to my money.
But I want to stop.
Back to my money.
I want to stop you because I damn near halfway agree with you about Andrew Luck being a bit of a failure when you consider #1 pick. You compare him to those guys you did. Russell Wilson, you'd have to consider better than him.
Yeah.
Nick Foles has won a Super Bowl.
Don't do that. That's in 4 games.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins has made a lot of money and
he still
leading other teams still help. Where does Andrew Luck rank on that list?
Andrew Luck is
down there with RG3.
Andrew Luck went farther in the playoffs. Don't do that.
Hey, I tell y'all what, don't give me my money. I'll text you from Cabo and tell you.
Ain't enough money to feed them M&Ms, bro. They ain't got that kind of budget around.
Hey, it's gonna take some time.
You gonna add Lizzo to them M&Ms, man. You got a full Snickers bar going on.
L to the Lizzo, H to the Hizzo.
All right, let me do my approval rating. I'm dropping Andrew Luck to a 48.
Damn.
All the way down to scout team from yesterday. I took away all of his job performance, knocked him on character and authenticity after my Whitlaw today, 48.
Wow, you just like them Colts fans, emotional. All them red, what's called them debits you got today. Nothing changed. Andrew Luck is still retired. He hasn't said a word, but now your reaction is different.
Why they call me flip-flop. I change positions all the time.
That ain't why they call you flip-flop.
Twitter has him at an all-star level.
Tell them why they call you.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
No, we doing it. We doing it right
we'll
here.
See you tomorrow.
From when he's not on the field. They can trot out and play those games without him, and they may even win.
but defenses will defend them differently than when he is on the field.
The reason why I don't think his demand is unreasonable is because I think his Zeke is more valuable to the Cowboys than Todd Gurley is to the Rams. And that's not a slight on Todd Gurley. That is a statement about, well, the Rams have Sean McVay, one of the most creative young play callers in the NFL. He has great value. They have Aaron Donald, the best player in the football, in my opinion. The Cowboys have a lot of really good players. And maybe the guard they have, Zach Martin, maybe he's the best guard in football. I don't know. He ain't Aaron Donald. And so at the Cowboys, I think Jared Goff has more upside than Dak. And so I look at the Rams and say, yeah, they figured out a way to do it without Todd Gurley. I'm not sure the Cowboys can figure out a way to do it without Zeke.
Well, sometimes it's not what you want, but when you want it. And I will say one thing to Marshall so he can tell Zeke, because this is all, they're one now. Timing is everything, and Zeke has horrible timing. One, let's stay on the field. Let's stay with the Rams. As last seen on a football field, Ezekiel Elliott let this team down. 20 carries, 47 yards. A lot of people forgot about that in that Rams game when they should have won that game if he gives them some kind of performance, but it still was a great contest. Then the Vegas stuff in the offseason. Zeke is Zeke in the offseason, so you got to deal with that. And now, timing is everything. 2 years remaining on your deal? You're in Cabo? Come on, man. Like, if you want Jerry to give you money early, make him eager to do it. Right now, you're trying to pull it out of Jerry instead of your play and your personality pushing Jerry to that place. It's not gonna work.
And the other part of the timing is what happened to Todd Gurley. That's in Jerry Jones's, mind when he thinks about how much am I going to invest in a running back. And you made a good point. There's a lot of good players on the Dallas Cowboys. They have to pay those players. And if you're going to devote that much money to your running back, it's going to come at some cost. This isn't baseball where you could go over the salary cap and pay a luxury tax. This isn't the NBA where there's a million different ways to fit somebody under the cap. Every dollar that you spend has to be checked off on that salary cap. And eventually you have to be under that salary cap. And the thing with Todd Gurley that shows that maybe that's not the wisest investment is we don't know where Todd Gurley is going to be this year or next year or the year after that. It's probably not going to get better. So if you're looking at Zeke Elliott, that could be my Todd Gurley. Do I want to get tied up with that much money knowing I have to pay my quarterback and everybody else? I'm not so sure that that's the wisest move.
I'm going to go back. I just want to mention this because I believe there are a lot of parallels between the Rams and the Cowboys' plight. Because I also believe that Todd Gurley is the engine to the Rams' offense. When you take Todd Gurley off the field, Jared Goff plays differently. We talk about all the play-action passes or whatever. Part of the reason the play-action pass is so effective is because number 30 is back there. I believe Zeke is the same. And we have to get to a point where we pay the players for their importance and their value to the team as opposed to the position. Because Jared Goff is going to get a lot of money. Now, is Jared Goff going to be a top 5 quarterback based on how he plays without Todd Gurley? I don't know. I think you can put Todd Gurley and Zeke in the same category. I think you put Dak Prescott and Jared Goff in the same category. I think those guys are complements to the running backs. And I think Zeke has a good argument. The timing is horrible.
I think you make a hell of a point about we've allowed analytics to come in and destroy common sense and context. We just look at the numbers. And the importance to a team and things like that is being eliminated based on position. And so we're making the game so like anybody can allegedly understand the game. And as it relates to timing, I really agree with both of y'all in this sense. I'm going to argue the other side of it in terms Zeke's timing is terrible, which could lead to this is an unreasonable request. And I'm going, because this happens to a lot of people, and I can personalize it to myself. When you have been hit with the tag of bad behavior, and I've been hit with that tag, you got to do some work to get people to go, oh, no, that was an isolated deal, or that narrative's untrue. And there were things I've had to do in my professional career for 2 and 3 years to show, no, this is who I am. Yeah. And so I almost think Zeke would have been better off reporting to camp, good behavior, then sit. Say, you know what, I'm going to go through everything in camp the right way. I'm going to be here. I'm going to be a leader. But I'm not playing day one unless y'all get me a new contract rather than being in Cabo. Be in the environment and showing them, like, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be, Jerry. You have a better chance of forcing his hand that way, out of sight, out of mind.
A little Julio Jones in this game plan,
Yeah.
huh?
Coming up, Andrew Luck's retirement has left a ton of questions unanswered. We'll answer a big one about his replacement, Jacoby Brissett. Next!